Kush and Chemtrails, the world's most dangerous podcast.
What you got over there, man?
Tahuti.
Yes.
I got Tahuti.
You see, I'm draped in my Nubia.
But under the Greek name, Hermes Trismegistus. Did you know that's Hermes' last name? Trismegistus?
Wow.
Hermes
Sounds like a magician.
Trismegistus.
Yeah.
So the 7 Hermetic principles, I want to go over that with you guys, man.
All right.
Want to check it out? You got time for that, Ronnie?
Man, what's
All
up?
right, man. So the 7 principles are the foundation of Hermeticism, which is a branch of spiritual philosophy dating back to the 1st century A.D. They're outlined by famed author Hermes Trismegistus, who is believed to have written the Emerald Tablet and the Corpus Hermeticum, which is the obviously the writings by Tahuti. For you guys who don't know, Tahuti is also known by the name of Thoth and Hermes, and was actually an Atlantean priest who colonized Egypt. And he researched the rest from there. So his work would go on to influence both ancient Greek and Egyptian cultures, with both adopting him as a god of wisdom. He's known in his time as a great master of the universe and is said to have lived for thousands of years. Over time, the 7 Hermetic principles have been passed down by word of mouth from teacher to student, and eventually, in the 20th century, the teachings were compiled into a book called the Kybalion. That's K-Y-B as in boy, A-L-I-O-N as in Nancy, written by the, quote, 3 initiates. So there's no name, there's no authorship, it's just literally the 3 initiates claim authorship to it. While the 7 principles are just one way of understanding the universe, they aren't so constricting that they cannot be studied alongside other spiritual philosophies. So these have no religious bounds to them. You could be of any, what would it be called? I guess religion, for lack of a better word, and it still applies. So let's go. Number 1, the principle of mentalism.
Faith.
The all is mind, the universe is mental. These are all quotes from the Kybalion, okay? That's again K-Y-B-A-L, excuse me, I-O-N.
The all is mind, the universe is mental.
Correct. So basically, God is the mind and the universe is mental. We are a projection of his thoughts, of his consciousness. The principle of mentalism states that the universe is akin to a mental projection. This is like Manifestation 101, which is all about using your thoughts to shape your reality. For anything to be, a thought must precede it. Through this principle, it's believed that God is consciousness or thought, and the universe is a manifestation of the mind of God. Using this law, we too can harness the power of our minds to create the life we want. We talk about it all the time. Whoa. What are you doing over there?
Manifesting. Proceed.
I see it. I saw what you just did. Don't have one of these alphabet agencies fucking come in. Number 2, the principle of correspondence, as above, so below, as above, the Kybalion. We've all heard this quote before, but maybe you never knew it was Hermes or Tahuti or Thoth who first coined it. It's closely related to the first principle of mentalism and states that what we hold in our thoughts and mind will become our reality. It explains the many planes of existence, including those of lower and higher vibrational frequencies, and how they're connected. We've talked about vibration, sound. Everything's created by sound and vibration. So this just backs up what we're saying in the fact that someone as profound as Tahuti was basing his thought process, or his teachings rather, on sound, vibration.
Right.
I dig it. What about you, young man? What do you think over there, pal? Huh?
Man, I was just looking up the principles of mentalism.
Mentalism?
Yeah.
That's what's up. Hey, look up the 7 Hermetic principles. Hermetic. So here's number 3, the principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. So we were just talking about that. So yeah, believe it or not, the idea of vibes has been around a long time. The principle of vibration states that all things, both physical matter and spiritual energy, hold a certain vibration. Basic science tells us atoms are in constant motion, as is the universe itself. Even our hearts, as they beat, give off different vibrations depending on our emotional state. And when we're vibrating high or consistent, we're able to avoid low-level frequencies that don't serve us. It's awesome because these are honestly things that I'm learning now, right? Within the last, I told you, 6 months? Where I've really been applying it to my life.
Right.
This is thousands of years old, brother.
Right.
That's what's so beautiful to me. It lets me know I'm on the right path because it resonates with me so deeply to think like, wow, these people, these entities, whoever this guy was, you know, Tahuti, Atlantean priest, like, wow, you know, those teachings have been passed down and now it's something that, you know, I'm studying.
Right.
I dig it. Number 4, the principle of polarity. Remember we talked about polarity is natural and duality is a perverted version of it. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. So, up until the early 20th century, the world was stuck in this paradox. It still is, a lot of it. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Everyone has to have an answer, right? We've talked a lot of times, and you're like, brother, there doesn't always have to be an answer. It doesn't always have to be resolved. You know how I'm always trying to connect the dots,
right?
And you're like, bro, take a rest. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be resolved.
Yeah.
Okay? And so, physics came to that conclusion in the early 20th century with E equals MC squared. That means energies matter. Energy equals, I'm fucking drunk already. Energy equals matter squared, right? So they were able to already find out that at that point, that if you move matter twice the speed of light, right? They understood the consequence of it. So the principle of polarity explains that seemingly opposite things are actually one and the same at varying degrees. A simple example of this is hot and cold. Cold is just the absence of heat, and they're both one thing, temperature. Physical matter and spiritual energy are the same thing, with spiritual energy vibrating at a much higher level such that it can't be perceived by our senses. Love and hate are two ways of experiencing the same thing. A relationship towards something. This is the foundation of alchemy, or the ability to transmute your experiences at will. And we've talked about too how dangerous that is when people can't apply their moral compass properly to that concept. The concept of polarity, because
right.
Good is evil, evil is good. They don't see the difference between the two.
Right.
And horrible things happen. You know, when we did the Manson piece, when Tom O'Neill came through, and we talked about how the girls were saying, oh, well, hey, you know, death is just continuation of life. And,
right.
you know, different vibration and all these different things. It's like, okay, that's fantastic, but what about the families that have to vibrate differently, you know? So it's this concept of polarity that's been perverted, misconstrued, however you want to say it. Number 5, we got the principle of rhythm. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. So again, we got rhythm, sound, vibration. Mm-hmm. Everything correlates. Closely related to the principle of polarity, the 5th principle states that between the opposing poles, there exists an inherent rhythm. The tides move in and out. We inhale, we exhale. Everything is in motion. Nature has its seasons, and so too do we. Understanding this principle allows us to recognize our life's natural rhythms, so we can actually work with them rather than having them work against us. Going with the flow of the universe. You can feel it. You can tell when you're not doing the right thing. You know? You can feel it. And then fucked up shit happens and you're like, damn.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, and you go back to that one moment.
And you're like, I knew it.
Man, I wish I could go back.
You
to
didn't
that
listen
one
to your
moment."
instinct. Yeah.
Exactly. 6, the principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law, not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. Everything is connected through the principle of cause and effect. For each cause of one thing is merely the effect of something else, going back to the very beginning. Ask yourself, are you a cause or are you an effect? This principle is all about acknowledging the effects of our thoughts and behavior and how we may change them to bring about greater effects. Are you a cause or are you an effect? What do you think?
I'm a cause.
Definitely.
Right?
Gotta be.
Right?
I don't live my life based on
What about
just
you?
the happenings of
Yeah.
life.
A little bit of both, a cause and an effect.
Because
Yeah.
we could be reincarnated and we are the effects of what something was walking on earth about, and we are just in a vessel right now.
Hey, bro, you can't be a fact checker and a philosopher, bro. You better cut it out. I'm not paying you for this shit, bro.
You know?
That was
Like,
pretty deep, dog. You better stop it.
This is the effects from
Cut it
goddamn
out. Cut it out right now. I'm serious. What up, young Jesse? Young Duff?
What's up, man?
What do you think? Are you a cause or an effect?
I can be a cause and I can be an effect.
I love it. I love
I'd
it.
rather be a cause, and if I'm the effect, that's the being.
Sick. I dig it. All right, let's go to the last one, man.
The
All right,
principle
number,
of gender. That one's
Number
good.
7. This is great, bro. This goes all the way to the spiritual realm, and it's so important, especially right now with a lot of the agenda that's being pushed. The principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. Masculine and feminine. There's two. There's two genders, even on the spiritual plane. And I think we need to get that correct, because there's too much going on right now with that gender bullshit.
Facts.
There's two. There's a female, there's a male. Whatever you want to identify as, that's your mental disorder.
Yeah, that's personal.
So the 7th principle states that all things have masculine and feminine qualities. Yes, the two sexes can be thought of as a physical manifestation of this principle, but as we're all coming to understand on an internal level, all of us hold both energies. Think left and right brain. Masculine and feminine energy exists not only in the physical plane, but the mental and spiritual plane as well. The unity of these two energies is essential for creation, and when one has a balance of both, they're better able to apply all of the principles together for maximum benefit.
Kush and Chemtrails, the world's most dangerous podcast.